Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother, Love Ruth, John, and Mark. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Mother, 1953, Part 78. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, March 2nd, 1953. Dearest Mother and Dad, well, we've had Mark Doran baptized, and was he ever a good boy? I certainly wish you could have seen him. It really was quite an event, and Mark looked like a little lamb in his white suit from his great-grandma Smallshaw. I washed and stretched it, and he looked so serious and sweet. Reverend Brown from St. Barnabas Episcopal Church came to see me after I called about having Mark christened. I thought March 1st. Yesterday a good day to have it. Usually he likes to have it at the 11 o'clock a.m. service, but since it was Communion Sunday, since we know no one in the congregation, and since Aunt Helen Zook teaches Sunday school in Sandusky, and she is godmother, we decided to have it at 3 o'clock p.m. March 1st yesterday. We asked Ted Zook to be godfather since he's an Episcopal too, and since Bud isn't nearby to guide him. Helen especially seemed to take it quite seriously and spoke to her minister about it and got a brochure of the sponsor's responsibilities. It was quite a turnout we had, quite unexpectedly. When we arrived at the church, there were 5 cars already there, including a Cadillac. Ted and Evelyn Zook, Helen and Fred Zook, Helen and John Lacey and Stephen, who were up from Marion, Ohio, to the flower show too. Mr. and Mrs. Ray and Carol. So with John and Mommy, Mark had quite a congregation. The minister seemed so nice, and Mark was good while John held him, and even when Reverend Brown took him and put quite a lot of water on his forehead and face. He held him up for all to see, and Mark solemnly looked around. Reverend Brown afterwards said, "Remember, Mark, you've got to be a good boy from now on." They all came to the house for a piece of Mark's christening cake. I made an angel food with 7-minute fluffy icing and a cup of tea. Aunt Helen Lacey showed some of the pictures she took at and after Cynthia's wedding, and they took more of Mark. We had 3 cameras flashing here. Reverend Brown gave us some lovely red roses. The Rays stayed for a little supper too, and Mark was good all the while. He's just a good boy. His godmother said that if she had a grandson like him, she'd walk 1,000 miles to see him. We were so lucky on the day. It was beautiful, warm and sunny. And next week, Helen and Fred are flying to Florida. And April 1st, the Rays and Helen Lacey are flying to California. Dale and Lenore are already in Mexico, so all the clan is heading south. We were lucky to get them before they left. Mrs. Ray wants us to spend a weekend in Sandusky before they leave. Mary had another baby girl, February 27th, 7 pounds, 6 ounces, named Garnet. She had a much easier labor and thought the course helped her. Vince was with her too. I phoned her today and she's fine. Goes home Wednesday. We took Mark to the doctor Saturday. He's 18 pounds, 2 ounces, and she thinks I can wean him to the cup in May. He starts on bananas, jello, soups, and egg yolk now. One of his balls is bigger than the other. It's the size of an egg, and he'll have to have an operation sometime. It's a hydrocell. Ted Zook says it's better if we can postpone it till he's 3 or 4, as they don't like to give a baby anesthetic. If it gets too big, though, it may injure his testicles, so we have to watch it. Thought you'd like to see these negatives. They're for a slide projector. They were taken February 14th after Cynthia's wedding. She got over $3,000 worth of gifts and a car. Handle the snaps by the edges, and I'd like them back. Helen and Fred started $10 in Fred's bank for Mark. He's the bank president. And the Rays gave $5 and Carol $1 towards Mark account. Do right. Love, John, Ruth, and Mark. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, March 26, 1953. Dear Mother and Dad, happy to see the spring? We have some of the fattest red robins hopping on our lawn in front of me now, and the most beautiful row of deep purple iris along the side of the house. I went down to get the laundry this morning and was so thrilled to see the lovely flowers along the ledge by the basement window that I phoned John at work to tell him. We had a very nice weekend down in Sandusky with the folks. Mark had a fine time seeing all the people and was as good as gold. He was so tired out he slept all Monday except for his meals and bath. They sent a few more snaps you might like to see. April 1st, the Rays fly to California. They leave from Cleveland Airport, so are leaving their car here, and John will see them off. Then we'll meet them when they arrive back April 15th. It will be a lovely trip, an excellent time of year to see California. We went down Saturday afternoon and had a lovely dinner. Mark slept with Carol in the twin beds. Sunday was a nice day, too. Had I mentioned Joan had a girl, too? Mary phoned me for some sympathy yesterday. She has the blues, too, now that her mother has gone. She was there 4.5 weeks, though, which helped. If you don't feel up to driving, I phoned the airlines. They have a businessman's plan that if husband and wife travel Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, the wife goes half fare. Trans-Canada would be $294 or less round trip for both of you, I believe. If you drive to Billings, Montana and come by Air Coach Northwest Lines, it would be $75.65 one way per person, which is more. $306.60 both ways for two. On the family plan, it would be $294.69 return for you both. No cheaper because there is a tax in the U.S. Cheaper via Canada. Probably you aren't interested, but thought I'd check. Do Bud and Doris have any plans of coming down? Tonight, John goes to the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and 2 nights next week, too. I don't know how you ever stood it alone so much, Mother. Mark has done fine on his 3 meals a day. He's taking orange juice from the cup. Of all our friends, Mary and I are the only 2 nursing our babies. Mary had to give up with Susie at 3 months, but hopes she can go longer with Garnet. Jer thinks she's going to have twins. John and I are going to 8 o'clock Easter Communion and take Mark along. We hope to anyway. Had a couple from the church visit me, also a Jehovah's Witness lady. Lots of love, John, Ruth, and Mark. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, March 30th, 1953. Dearest Mother and Dad, just put Mark to bed and thought I'd drop you a line before I had my supper. John bowls tonight, so I leave him his supper. I used to wait, but then I'm so tired. It was good to get your letter this morning, and I'll watch for the parcel. Certainly never expected Mrs. York to send Mark anything. Mark surely has been a lucky boy. Crinkle crepe sounds wonderful. I've determined not to buy anything that needs ironing if I can help it. He wears corduroy overalls, which are nice, warm yet easily washed. He wears the blue sweater you sent a lot. Today I walked to the shopping center and got some buttons to put on it also for the one Mrs. Moreland sent. He has such a fat tummy he pokes out unless it's buttoned, and even sometimes when they are. He wears year-old sizes now and some 18 months. We took Mark to the doctor Saturday and he had his first shot, 3-in-1, diphtheria, whooping cough, and tetanus. He certainly did yell when she gave it to him. Then, since the doctor thought he looked anemic, she had us get a blood test, so more puncturing for poor Mark. However, I checked today and his hemoglobin is good, 82%, and she said 75 to 85 was good for babies his age, so guess we won't give him iron. He's now on meats with vegetables and custards, baby foods, and weighs 20 pounds. She says he's a year-old size. Incidentally, baby foods are wonderful when you get your teeth out. He now stands up just holding on 2 fingers. We were down to Akron yesterday, and Ann thinks Mark is phenomenal. Paul is about 12 pounds and 4 days younger. Mark looks more mature, too. Ann wants to have another baby already. She's still working 2 days. I haven't heard from Marion since before Christmas. She sounded very unhappy then. She's still teaching, but said she'd quit as soon as she was expecting a baby, but so far, no luck. I guess we're very lucky to have such a lovely baby. I go back to the doctor Saturday. I should have mentioned about the baby foods when Dad had his teeth out. They're very good, nourishing, but no chewing involved. Hope you have a happy Easter and only wish we could see you. Maybe in the summer. Love, John, Ruth, and Mark. P.S. Get Mrs. Steele to read A Man Called Peter. R.R. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, April 5th, 1953. Dearest Mother and Dad, just a quick note tonight this Easter to tell you what a very happy Easter day we had. How much we wish we could share the day and our sweet boy with you. Some days our cup seems to be flowing over, and it's hard to express how lucky we are. God has certainly been good. Thank you for the cute rompers and Mark's egg. We took some pictures that we hope will be good. Daddy John figured out the flash camera attach. Mark also got a basket with rubber duck eggs and chicken from the Rays and $5 and $1 in socks. He's getting quite a bank account, but would like to eat the money. He had a big time with the ribbons and cellophane straw. Boy, he's a doll. We took him to 8 o'clock a.m. communion. He was fine, but didn't stop singing when everyone else did. He really crowed. Cute at home, but not in church. John took him out, and one of the sidesmen said, "You couldn't blame him for being happy." He's certainly a good boy. He sat alone for 10 seconds yesterday. I got a perfect from Doc Taylor, so we're really pleased about that. Finally healed after 5 months. Visited Dale and Dan's new home and little girl, and today saw Joan and Lenny's weenie one. We're quite prejudiced about Mark, I guess. He's the best-looking baby I've ever seen and so good. But then he's got the best-looking and nicest papa, too. Happy, happy Easter and much love to you. So looking forward to you coming someday. Love, John, Ruth, and Mark. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, April 7th, 1953. Dearest folks, hi. We really hit the jackpot with the sweater set from Mrs. York, the baby cup, dish towels, and pepper shakers from Norma yesterday. Strange to get a wedding gift after all these years, but nice of Auntie to bother. Thought you'd enjoy these snaps of Mark. He's really a doll, and we're so crazy about him, we'll have to have another to keep from spoiling him. As you can see, he's a happy little chap. I'll try to write to Norma and Nuna tonight. The sweater set is a fine fit and a darling cap. On Easter, I told John all Mark needed was ears and he'd look like a bunny, and lo, the cap on Mark gives the bunny effect. We'll have to take a snap of him in it for Mrs. York. We'll go broke taking his pictures. He smiles every morning when we go in, just like the snap. John took me to church Good Friday. They had an evening service, and also communion on Sunday, and tomorrow night I go to the Women's Guild meeting. Dear came over last night for a nice visit. Told me what a Casanova John was in college. John was bowling. And how all the gals fell for him. He's still pretty nice. We visited Joan and Lenny's baby on Sunday. I enjoyed your letter so much. Does Daddy not plan on coming to see Mark? Maybe you could get someone to share the driving. John is driving his dad's new car now while he's away. Lots of love and God bless. Love, John, Ruth, and Mark. Now, Ruth put in a letter to her mother newspaper article about it was called A Weird Day. Sunday, September 24th was the shortest day in Cleveland history. There was no afternoon. As we think of afternoon, daylight began fading at noon under an ominous sky brushed with weird shades of copper, sandy pinks, and pale purple. Birds went to roost thinking night had come. Motorists turned on headlights, and at Cleveland Stadium, where the Indians were playing Detroit, baseball history was made. For the first time, a Major League day game was played under lights. The strange weather was caused by forest fire smoke blown from Alberta, Canada, nearly 2,000 miles away. The ominous quality of the sky was caught in this remarkable photograph of the lighted Cleveland Stadium taken at 1:30 p.m. by W.J. Larcey. The long-time exposure below showing automobile headlights was taken at 2:05 p.m. by Ray Majetic, plain dealer staff photographer. Ruth also included the menu from the hospital during the time she gave birth to Mark, and she had for breakfast orange juice, tomato juice, Petty John's, shredded Ralston's, soft-cooked eggs, scrambled eggs, donuts, and toast. For lunch, November 10th, cream of celery soup and crackers, barbecued pork on bun, deviled egg, potato chips, and spiced fruit plate. Cream-style corn, buttered green beans, head of lettuce with French dressing, apple crisp with whipped cream, and vanilla ice cream. And on Tuesday, November 11th, for dinner, she had cream of chicken and celery on toast, mashed potatoes, parsley, buttered carrots, buttered broccoli, molded cranberries, salad and mayonnaise, sugar cookies, and apricot slices. Now we have 3 comments on the original publication. The first is from Patricia A. Ray, Ruth's daughter and my sister. I enjoyed tremendously reading SFMC number 33. It makes me feel closer to Mom and Dad, especially since I missed them after last weekend. It's amazing that Mom was playing tennis and golf. I'm so impressed at all of your work and organization in producing these wonderful memoirs. Patricia A. Ray, M.D., Brookline, Massachusetts. The next comment is from Rosa Chukalova in Tomsk, Siberia, Russia. Thank you for some more issues of the memory collections. I am so grateful to you, dear. You are my precious friend, sharing your life with me. Sorry, never I am able to do anything for you, however strong my desire can be. Never before, never now, and never later on, alas. After all the changes with the dollar rate in our crazy country, my monthly salary is $20. Can you believe me? I am sending all my love to you. You are always in my heart and on my mind. May my love and prayers help you. I'll write more when I have time. I love you. Yours, Mama Rosa. Rosa Chukalova, Tomsk, Siberia, Russia. And the third comment is from Tessa Delina, the former secretary of Restless Educational Center in Quezon City, Philippines. Dear Sir, my warmest greetings to you and your family. I just finished reading DMLR number 21, and you're right. The arrival of Mark Doran surely brought so much joy and excitement to Ruth and John. I would like to know how your brother Mark would react to this particular issue when he reads it. Nice photos. It looked like Mark was very much aware that he was so much loved and that he was the center of attention during those photo shoots. Wide-eyed, bouncing baby boy, so cute and so cuddly. One can also see how your dad John adored his baby so much. He gave all his undivided attention to Mark that he forgot to look at the camera. Here are my own reflections. All mothers I know only say one thing upon giving birth and seeing their child for the very first time. No words can ever describe how a mother feels as she sees the baby for the very first time. According to them, it is a miracle of life. Ruth's detailed description on how she nursed her baby, attended to all his needs, giving him the much-needed comfort and emotional support, prompts me to say that all the mothers, as well as the fathers, should be accorded all the respect, honor, and love from their children, because this is the only way we can give back to them what they did for us when we were small, and even up to the present time. We wish for all the mothers, and most especially to Ruth, is that I hope and pray that they will be blessed, have more enjoyable, peaceful, and satisfying years in their life, and that may they always remain a guiding inspiration to the young. Thank you, and more power to you. Sincerely yours, Tessa J. Delina, Quezon City, Philippines. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history if this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, and photographs, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. You might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 604 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. You also might consider checking out our podcast, Adventures in History. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.